Good evening from New York. I'm Chris Hayes. Well, tonight, conservatives are beside themselves with outrage and exasperation over the news the Obama administration will allow Americans who have begun to apply for coverage on healthcare.gov but have not finished by the Monday deadline to have extra time to complete that process. Here is how Fox News greeted the announcement.
We are getting reports now that the White House has just announced a new extension for health care signups. How about that?
Well, wait a minute. Wasn't that the one deadline they said they could never move?
Unfortunately, it is the continuation of lawlessness from the administration.
House Speaker John Boehner railed against another deadline made meaningless and pointed to the fact the government will rely on an honor system for people indicating that they tried to enroll before Monday.
You know, he hasn't put enough loopholes into the law already. The administration is now resorting to an honor system to enforce it. What the hell is this, a joke? The dates are the dates. And the law is the law. The president doesn't have the ability to just change the law whenever he wants.
Ah, yes, the dates are the dates, says Speaker Boehner. Never before in the history of this fine republic has a president moved an enrollment deadline for a big health insurance initiative, right?
You can apply after May 15th without penalty. We want everybody to sign up. The system is modernized, and it saves you money, and that's what we want.
That's right. In 2006, President George W. Bush extended a key Medicare prescription drug benefit deadline from May 15th, not by a week or 2 weeks. He extended it all the way to December. And it's funny, we could not find any record of John Boehner calling that a joke. Of course, today's attacks on Obamacare aren't really about extending the deadline. They're just the latest front in the full spectrum assault on a law, opposition to which now binds together the entire conservative movement, from the Drudge Report to Fox News to the Republican Party to groups like the Koch brothers-funded Americans for Prosperity. Unceasing, intractable hostility to the law has become the defining feature of the contemporary right, their reason for being. And just look at what happened yesterday, where the Supreme Court began considering the Hobby Lobby challenge, the law's employer mandate to provide birth control coverage. That wasn't even the only Obamacare legal challenge yesterday. In the D.C. federal court, conservatives are using a small bit of sloppy legislative language to argue against all logic that the law intended for only customers in state-run health insurance marketplaces, known as exchanges, to be eligible for federal subsidies. Since most Republican governors won't establish those exchanges in their state, the legal challenge, if successful, would essentially kill the law. And that seems just fine with D.C. Judge A. Raymond Randolph, a George H.W. Bush appointee, who yesterday called the law stupid and cobbled together and described its launch as an unmitigated disaster. Another judge, Carter appointee Harry Edwards, pointed out what is really going on. What you're asking for is to destroy the individual mandate and gut the statute, he said. That's what this is about. Right you are, Judge Edwards. That is what this is about. And that's what it's about when conservative groups hold tailgate parties to encourage young people not to sign up for health insurance, and when Republican governors block Medicaid expansion around the country, denying the working poor access to health care, and when the House votes 50 times to repeal or roll back Obamacare, and when the Tea Parties in Arkansas try to take Medicaid coverage from people that already have it, and when lawmakers in Georgia pass a law explicitly named the Georgia Health Care Freedom and ACA Non-Compliance Act. Whatever argument you're getting on a particular day about Obamacare, that argument isn't about what the people arguing it say it's about. It never is. Never forget that destroying a law designed to get people health insurance in arguably the most market-friendly way is what this is really all about. Joining me now, Jennifer Stefano. She's Regional Director for American for Prosperity. She's one of those people who I really think genuinely wakes up every day and thinks about how to destroy Obamacare. And Jennifer, the first question is, why should anyone care about this extension of the deadline? Who cares? So people are going to have a few more weeks to sign up.
Well, actually, Chris, the thing I wake up about and think about every morning is my children. And I think people should care about the deadline for the same reason that I wake up and millions of women, actually 85 million women across the country wake up and think about their children as well. That's how many mothers we have, because we really are having our choices removed from us as mothers and the health care that we can provide our children.
Why?
And so the extension of the deadline, why? Because the president lied to us. The president promised us, and a lot of women who voted for him, a lot who didn't.
Wait a second, wait a second.
He promised. Wait, let
Jennifer,
me finish.
No, answer this question first, though.
I'm going to answer.
Why does extending a deadline for 2 weeks take away the choices you have for your children? Explain that to me.
Because it continues to not allow people to go back and change this law. This law has made 7 million people lose their insurance. For the people who have actually signed up on the exchange, the McKinsey Institute, which is a consulting group that tracks these things, nonpartisan, has found only 14% of them are actually people without coverage. People without health care right now who don't have health care for their children don't want this law, Chris.
First of all,
it's not helping them. That is true. They're not signing up, and as a mother, I take real offense that women are being forced to have no choices to cover their children.
What are you talking about?
They don't want this law.
First of all,
that's why you have to push back the deadline. You can't get people to pay for it. You can't get people to sign up for it.
Jennifer, what are you talking about? Do we have the chart?
You wouldn't care.
Do you realize that millions of people have signed up for this, right?
No. Let me make one thing clear to you.
No. Millions of people have signed up for it.
Of what percentage of those people don't have insurance? Only 14%.
Right, but
this is not helping the uninsured. Why will they not sign up for it?
Wait a second, Jennifer.
Why
this
will
is
they
key.
not
No,
sign
this
up
is
for
key. This is key. This is actually where this is an important point. If what you're saying to me, what I hear from you is you're worried that not enough people signing up in the exchange are actually people who are uninsured. And here's an interesting thing about the way this law works. A huge amount of the heavy lifting it's doing is ensuring the uninsured is in the Medicaid expansion. And yet
actually,
Tea Party after Tea Party...
not true.
Yes, absolutely true.
And also,
the estimate, Jennifer, absolutely true that, a huge part of the heavy lift in ensuring the uninsured is the Medicaid expansion. So take this from me. Answer this question for me. Throw out the mandate. Throw out the exchange. Throw out the deadlines you don't like. Forget about all that, okay? Bumping up Medicaid eligibility from 100% of poverty line to 133% of poverty line so that some working poor people can get some health insurance. What is the objection to that? Why does every conservative Republican governor oppose that? Explain that to me.
Ooh, number one, not true. Plenty of Republican governors, including Tom Corbett in Pennsylvania, including the Ohio governor. There are Republican governors that have expanded Medicaid.
And they are getting killed.
Please.
Wait a second. Do you like that? Do you
spare me?
Jennifer,
spare me that this is a Democrat-Republican thing.
No, tell me.
So number one, it's not.
No, I want to hear what you say.
Let me finish your question.
Jennifer, I want to hear what you believe. Do you believe in Medicaid expansion?
I have a real problem when you talk about raising the poverty level. That's people making $94,000 a year. They're not poor. That is taking resources from the poor. The expansion of Medicaid is a moral issue, not an economic one.
That's a math train wreck.
It is not right and not fair. Excuse me?
It's not the Medicaid expansion.
Oh, my brother, yes it is. You need to look at your facts.
No.
Take 133% of the poverty level. In states like Pennsylvania and others, you get $94,000 a year. Now, I don't know what you consider rich, but that is an awful lot of money. I consider the poor, they do deserve a safety net. They do deserve help. And right now, Medicaid has failed those people. It is a moral issue. Do you know that people on Medicaid are
Jennifer,
Wait
a second. But here's the thing.
People on Medicaid suffer.
This is what's crazy. No. Here's what you're doing. Jennifer, here's what you're doing. Here's what you're doing. And this is precisely what I was saying in the intro.
Giving you facts?
No. What you are doing is you are working backwards from opposition to law. Jennifer Stefano, Americans for Prosperity, was not doing anything to get people health insurance, was not concerned about the plight of people on Medicaid, was not sponsoring bills before Congress, was not trying to get people health care. What happens now is that any part of the bill, any part of the law that can be picked apart, right, to try to destroy it, suddenly the great saviors of the working poor, or people on Medicaid, are people opposed to the law. But the fact of the matter is that is not the animating thing that is making people get up in the morning and go to war against Obamacare. It's not like you care about people on Medicaid, or that's the thing that got you into politics. And I don't understand why not just be honest about it. Why this is honesty? Why not just be honest about it?
You know nothing about me. You have no idea why I
we've
wake
talked
up in the
before.
morning, and you have no, excuse me,
We
you
have.
don't know what I wake up and fight for and believe in. You know nothing about me. You know nothing about
So
my
you were
family.
working on-
You
you were
don't know
working
if
on
I was
Medicaid
born
expansion?
and raised
You were working
in
on
a trailer
Medicaid?
park. You don't know what I did.
Okay.
And how dare you, like Harry Reid, try to undercut the voice of a woman simply because she disagrees with you. Now, you may not like where I'm coming from on public policy, but you have no right to undercut my voice. As a woman, I have fought
I
very
put
hard.
you on my
I have
TV
taken on the
show. I'm
Republicans.
not undercutting
I have
your
taken on
voice.
you are undercutting my voice because you're making it personal, saying I wake up to do this, and this is what I was not doing. You have absolutely no idea
So then
about me
what do you
or
want
my
to
life.
What do you want to
don't
see?
care.
How are you going to get
Here's
people?
what I want.
How are we going to get
Stick
people
to the
health
facts.
insurance? How are we going to get people health
Stick
insurance?
to the facts. Talk about facts, logic, and reason. How dare you personally
all right.
attack me and
I'm
what
not
I believe
personally
in?
attacking you, Jennifer.
Typical, because
Jennifer,
you can't win.
Thank you.
Brother.
Thank you for coming on the
Unfortunate.
show. I do appreciate it.
Sad,
Jennifer
Chris.
Sauner
You're a
from
good guy
Americans for
otherwise.
Prosperity. Thank
Sad.
you.